I'd like to call this meeting to order, Thursday, August 27th, 2020, Ross Board of Education, regular meeting. Can we stand for a pledge of allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kitzel, could you call the roll, please?
Yes. Mr. Van Winkle?
Yes.
Mrs. Webb?
Here.
Mr. Bossy?
Yes.
Mrs. Hayes?
Here.
And Mr. Chanel?
Here.
Any changes on the agenda, Dr. Conkling?
Yes, Mr. President, under 6F, under personnel, we do have some additions, and those are noted by an asterisk, which is on the website under the board agenda.
Okay. Next section, we'll go to the review, correction, approval of minutes. Can we get a motion for the minutes, please?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Mrs. Webb, Mrs. Hayes, Mr. Kitzel, can you call roll?
Yes. Mrs. Webb?
Yes.
Mrs. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Van Winkle?
Yes.
Mr. Bossy?
Yes.
And Mr. Chanel?
Yes.
Mr. Castaner, did we have any public participation email?
We did not.
Now we can move on to superintendent reports. Dr. Conkling?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Under superintendent report and recommendations, there is a SRO agreement with the Ross Township Police Department, so we are pleased to continue that relationship with Ross Township. You also have 4 handbooks, student handbooks, so one from each of the buildings for your approval. And then finally, there are some personnel items to be voted on. And last, under the treasurer's section, which is 7K, these are the course fees and participation fees for our families. And that, again, is under 7K. So that's the highlights of the agenda tonight.
Okay, thank you. Can we get a motion for the superintendent recommendation?
Motion.
Mrs. Webb, can we get a second?
Motion.
Mrs. Hayes, Mr. Kitzel, can you call the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Webb?
Yes.
Mrs. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Van Winkle?
Yes.
Mr. Bossy?
Yes.
And Mr. Chanel?
Yes.
So we'll go to John now. So now we'll move on to treasurer reports and recommendation. Mr. Kitzel?
Yeah, I'd like to block A through K, although K has been already voted on, so it'd be A through J.
Okay, can we get a motion A through J? Can we get a first, please?
Motion.
Mrs. Hayes, can we get a second?
Second.
Mrs. Webb? Roll call, Mr. Kitzel?
Yes. Mrs. Hayes?
Yes.
Mrs. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Van Winkle?
Yes.
Mr. Bossy?
Yes.
And Mr. Chanel?
Yes.
Butler Tech reports. I passed out to the board a celebration report, which is a weekly or monthly newsletter. You can see the celebration report, just read it at your own leisure. I'm sorry, I had that wrong. It's a celebration report that has the 5 goals that the superintendent and treasurer set each year. And that celebration report has the detail of those goals, reaching the greatest number of students, financial stability, stakeholder engagement, all those things. That report is kind of a real quick summary of Butler Tech in 19 and 20. Also at the board meeting, we reviewed the strategic plan for this coming school year, which really is embedded in those 5 goals. We also have the student success newsletter that I passed out. That's also uploaded onto board docs. And then I also passed out to the board any and everything related with our partnership with Butler Tech. The programming, the numbers, it dates back to fiscal year 14. So board, when you get a chance to read through that, there's a lot of really good information as well. A couple other highlights from the board meeting at Butler Tech. They usually do an all boards meeting, and Andy and Heather, I know you guys weren't on the board at the time, but they try to bring all the boards to Butler Tech, and they have some student showcases and really just show off all the great things that are happening at Butler Tech. It's going to be virtual this year, and they're still working on it. But they are going to do something to where the boards from each school district has that ability to see some of the neat programming that's going on at Butler Tech as well. I'm on the board effectiveness committee, and we're putting that together. So within the next probably 30 days, we'll hopefully have something out, and I'll make sure I share that with you guys. There was two things that we talked about in Butler Tech board meeting in open forum that was interesting. And these are legal things, but they have to do with Butler Tech and Ross. That Bob Cupp is the new Speaker of the House in the Cupp-Patterson bill that Mr. Bossy's hit on a few times. There's a lot of momentum thinking that Cupp-Patterson bill might gain some traction now that this guy's kind of in charge. So that's something hopefully it does. So that would really help us out.
Sure.
And then the other one we talked about earlier, which was House Bill 606. So, go ahead.
Yeah, there's two other items I need to have a vote on, L and M.
We'll do this one first, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. So that's all we have for Butler Tech. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. So I'm going to send this over, and you can put those in. That's the kind of what we talked about for the Butler Tech report. We'll retract back to a couple more treasure recommendations, which was L and M, you said?
Yes.
Okay, L and M from the treasurer. Can we get a motion for L and M first, please?
Motion.
Mr. Chanel, can we get a second?
Second.
Mrs. Hayes, roll call, Mr. Kinsel?
Yes. Mr. Chanel?
Yes.
Mrs. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Van Winkle?
Yes.
Mrs. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Bossy?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to flip. We're going to do final board comments prior to going to executive session. So we're going to move to 10, Dr. Kunkel. And so we'll go around the board to get final board comments. We'll start with Mr. Bossy on that side over there. Final board
Next
comments.
time, give us a heads up, we're going to be doing this. Okay.
Hold on. Let's do this. Let's start with Mrs. Webb. Go ahead. Go ahead. Gives you a second there. He's shuffling through papers. So let's
I guess really the one thing that I want to stress is I want to wish everybody luck starting the school year off, because we're sitting in here this time next month, everyone will have already been in school for a couple of days. So I want to wish the teachers, the students, the staff, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, everybody a safe and healthy start to the year.
I'll go last. Go ahead, Mrs. Hayes.
I again want to commend our staff and the upper administration and for everything they've been doing to get us ready for COVID. And it's a lot of behind the scenes work, and just want to thank you all for your hard work.
Mr. Chanel.
Just reiterate what Amy and Heather said. The staff, people in this room, principals, our teachers, Jake in the athletic department. It's been a ton of work the last month, 2 months, 3 months. Going back to even last year, thinking about what this year is going to look like. So very appreciative. So thank you. Fingers crossed everything goes as well as planned.
Mr. Bossy.
I didn't have time to come in this week. John, have we got the new buses in yet?
No. No. Everything is in as far as the state and the other grant, the Volkswagen grant. I spoke with Rush, who were getting the buses through, and we're just working out. There's a few things. I'm sorry, what?
I don't, it just amazes me that we thought we'd have them at the end of school year, early, and I don't know what, sounds like we're working with the federal government or the state government. It just, I don't know what's involved, the constipation, but it's just disappointing that we're starting the school year off without the new buses, that's all. Yeah, that's all. I'm sure you feel the same frustration as I do, but it's nothing against you. It's just, I don't know what, gee. My gosh. When we had that grant, I know, at least 8, 9 months ago now.
Well, I mean, we have to submit everything. It's been about 3 months that we've had everything in.
We're talking about the,
State.
no, I'm talking about the other one.
Okay, the
We
other
had
one.
that, I remember, she
we've
came
had
into the board meeting before the end of the
Yeah.
school year and said, we got the grant.
Yeah.
Uh,
We did.
Anyway, that's disappointing. Have we got anything back from Harrison yet on that,
Yes.
on the building?
Yes,
How long of a contract did they agree to sign?
5 years.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we were talking maybe 10, but 5 is better than 2.
Yes.
Excited about the green light we got on athletics, even though we may not be able to watch football. That's okay.
Chatterbox Sports.
Yeah,
They
right.
covered a lot of games,
Yeah.
Chatterbox
Yeah.
Sports. And they're very good. But it's better to be there.
Knock on wood.
Right.
Unfortunately, we got a 1-16 record on tomorrow night, so it'd be good to get win number 2 out of it. And then maybe this is a year with our quality people. We've got some quality people. We can, in the last 6 years, it's been all Edgewood and Harrison dominating the FABC. And maybe this is our year for football to step up, so I like it. The other one is, I like that in your list of things to do, in no hurry, but it's, so I want to just get to it eventually. We've got and had what we call the digital bulletin board on our website. And I would like to see, I'm not a big fan of it, it hasn't been I think of a great value to our community. I've never been a fan of it, but if we're going to keep it, I'd like to get some energy behind it, you know. So look at that and make a decision whether that's of value to our school district, our community or not. Digital bulletin board. And I enjoyed and I valued the Zoom presentations we had every weekly on Wednesdays. Those couldn't be any better. And breaking them up into segments, it's just, I really think we've done a first-class job, and I hope our community uses it maybe more, and goes to the website or, you know, to pull it off. The attendance numbers last night weren't as exciting as what I'd like to have been, but I just think we do a first-class job. We're getting the information out. That's the key thing. That's our job, not to, you know, they got to listen to it and sure pick it up. So, and then I want to tip the hat on camera here to the. You post them and you hire them. I don't know how you do it so quick, but good job on that. I'm on all of that. So. Thank you.
Just a couple comments. I wanted to congratulate Butler Tech with a smooth start. They've been in school now for a couple weeks, specifically the Ross kids that are attending the Butler Tech classes on campus. Wanted to thank the upper administration for their efforts. Mrs. Webster, I think everybody said it, with the YouTube Live feeds. It's been real positive. And then just as a coach, former coach, I always try to look at quotes and stuff and think about our administration. And one of the best quotes I've always used when I coached, and this is a quote that I think we can use with our upper administration, is your culture is tested during a crisis. And so the last 5 or 6 months, our upper administration has been tested, and also our custodians and teachers and everybody. And during this crisis, and I couldn't be more proud to be on the Board of Education than I am with this community and all of the people that work there. So our culture was tested, and I believe we're doing a hell of a job, so I really appreciate that. So with that being said, we're going to move into executive session with no action to follow. Can we get a motion to go in executive session, please?
Motion.
Mr. Chanel, can we get a second?
Second.
Mrs. Webb, roll call, Mr. Kitzel?
Yeah, Mr. Chanel,
Yes.
Mrs. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Van Winkle,
Yes.
Mr. Bossy,
Yes.
and Mrs. Hayes.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Thank you.